Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome back to Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl, gear, and more. Today, I am answering your gear questions.
Love vinyl? Tell the world with a Channel 33 RPM t-shirt. Check out the Channel 33 RPM store today.
All right, this first question is, I can't decide between a ProJect debut carbon turntable Evo and a Fluance RT85. You would not believe how often I get asked this question, the whole Fluance versus ProJect or ProJect, however you want to say it. This is on the mind of a lot of people. And while I don't have the ProJect Evo or EVO, I do have a ProJect debut carbon, which I got like 7 or 8 years ago. And I also have a Fluance RT85. So I think I'm somewhat qualified to answer this question. I'm not an audiophile. I'm not a tech geek. I mean, I can just tell you what I think. Basically a regular guy who's used all this stuff. And I know a lot of people are not going to love my answer to this, but if I had a choice today between a ProJect debut carbon and the Fluance RT85, I would go with the ProJect debut carbon. And hold on there before you start hitting the thumbs down. Let me explain. This is not a slight against the Fluance turntables. Fluance has a ton going for it, and that's why it has made such a huge impact in the vinyl community in such a short period of time. Fluance, through all their models, offers incredible value. They offer incredible bang for your buck. You are getting a lot of stuff. You're getting a lot of features for a relatively minimal investment. You look at something like the RT85, I haven't seen the latest prices, but I think it's like $500 for something. And with that, you're getting a quality turntable. You are getting something with a really nice cartridge. You're getting an acrylic platter. I mean, this thing is loaded for a really good price. But, and here's the but, there's always a but, I'm still not convinced about the overall build quality and long-term, or the longevity of those turntables. And they look really good, they're nice and shiny, they perform well, they function well, but I've been hearing a few stories from friends who have purchased Fluance turntables and they've had problems with them. One friend of mine, he had a RT81 or an RT82 and the bearings seized. He ended up bringing it over here. We took the turntable apart, we lubricated it, and we got it to work. Another friend of mine was having a lot of issues with his RT85 to the point where he was going back and forth with Fluance, and they ended up sending him a brand new turntable, a whole new turntable. So good on them for the good customer service. But these turntables haven't been around long enough, I don't think, to properly judge how they'll be in the long term, if that makes any sense. But again, good bang for your buck. ProJect, on the other hand, they've been around for decades. Rock solid. I've had my debut carbon for, I've lost track of how long, I think 10 years now. Before I said 7 or 8, but thinking about it, I think it's closer to 10 years. I've had no problems with it in all of those years. It still holds a rock solid speed. It holds a steadier speed than my Fluance does. And to my ears anyway, the ProJect is a little more musical for some reason. I know a lot of that comes down to the cartridges and blah, blah, blah. And I haven't done any scientific or proper side-by-side comparisons. I'm speaking from the gut here. That's just my gut reaction, is that it seems to be a little more of a musical turntable. I mean, it's a lot simpler. It doesn't have as many bells and whistles on it. And if you're buying a plain old debut carbon, it's probably going to cost about the same as a Fluance, but if you want to upgrade it, again, to get a lot of those bells and whistles, you're going to be paying more. So the ProJect is a little bit more of an investment, but if it was me, based on my experiences right now, based on the reviews I've read, based on the industry awards given to ProJect, and given their the company and their philosophy and the research, just the whole package, I would go for the ProJect. Again, that's me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, this next question comes from Ross, and in this question, he is referring to my Humming Guru ultrasonic record cleaner. I got it back there. I had some issues with it, and I had to fix it, and now it's working fine. But his question relates to that. So Ross wrote, so now that you've had it a while, talking about the Humming Guru and fixed it twice, how would you say it compares to other cleaning methods? Have you ever tried a wet cleaning vacuum system like the Record Doctor or the cheap $29 DIY vinyl vac? Does the Humming Guru do a comparable or even a better job? Thanks. So this is a good question, but I don't have a great answer. Nonetheless, I do have an answer for you. So I do not have a Record Doctor, but I do have the vinyl vac, the $29 vinyl vac. I do have a Spin Clean, and I do have, as you see there, I do have the Humming Guru. And again, I haven't done any meaningful comparisons on these. I haven't done any scientific sort of experiments with them, but my gut tells me that all of those, the ones I've tried, all do a relatively good job of cleaning records, and I'm not sure if one does a better job than any of the others. So if I was contemplating, if I had a limited budget, I was contemplating, the $30 vinyl vac or the $100 Spin Clean or the $400 Humming Guru, I would probably go for the Spin Clean. That said, now that I own all three of them, and I have to admit I'm a bit of a lazy record collector in the sense that I used to really like the ritual of taking my records out and manually cleaning them, then manually using a cloth to dry them off, and then air drying them. But I've gotten a little lazy over the years. So what I like about the Humming Guru is the automated features, right? I don't have to take all the stuff out. I don't have to lay everything on the table, make a whole process out of it. I take a record out, it's dirty. I'll throw in the Humming Guru. It automatically cleans it. The water drains out and it air dries it, and I'm good to go. So I really do like that one. But again, back to your original question, from my experience, I'm not sure if any of those does a better job at cleaning records. So ultimately, I think it comes down to budget and the lazy factor. How much of the work do you want to have automated, and how much do you actually enjoy going through the whole process of cleaning records? This question comes from Mike K, and he sounds best sounding cartridges other than Shure. Man, that is such a loaded question in the sense that it all comes down, one, to personal preference. It all comes down to budget, right? If your budget is $50, that's very different than if your budget is $1,000. But I'll tell you quickly what my favorite cartridges are. On my Technics SL1200, I use a vintage Pickering cartridge with a aftermarket modern Jyco stylus. I love that. For which turntable is it? On my Fluance and on my Debut Carbon. On both of those, I use an Ortofon 2M Blue stylus. Absolutely love that. It's a very modern sounding cartridge. It doesn't color the sound from your records at all. What that means is kind of what you hear is what you get. It's not necessarily a warm sounding cartridge, but it is sufficiently detailed and it sounds good. If I'm listening to something I'm after a warmer kind of sound, I absolutely love my Nagaoka MP110. It's detailed. It's a really nice sounding cartridge, but it's a little bit of a warmer sounding cartridge, a bit more of a traditional sounding cartridge. So if you want modern, detailed, what you hear is what you get cartridge, I would go for the Ortofon. The Blue is my favorite, or not necessarily my favorite, but I think it offers good value for the money. If I want a really nice warm sounding cartridge, I love my Nagaoka MP110. This question comes from Mad Vinyl NYC. Any tips on making it easier to read runout grooves? Thanks. Salute from New York City. Man, this is a good question because my eyes get worse every year. I find for myself using my I don't have it with me. Oh, here it is. My phone. Put the flashlight on and then kind of look at the record with the flashlight on, or even you could take a picture using your phone of the runout groove, and you can kind of blow it up and see the picture and read it. all sorts of techniques. I guess you can use magnifying glasses and all that stuff. But for me, a phone is all you need with the flashlight and the camera feature. This next question comes from David Gregory Kerr. I'm wondering, should I prohibit the use of the fireplace if I have my record collection in the living room? So I'm assuming your records are not right up on your fireplace where they could get really hot and melt or whatnot. But if it's in the same, if the fireplace is in the same room as your record collection from a reasonable distance, I don't see what the issue is here. My music room is here. In the next room, about 20 feet away, we have a natural gas fireplace. I mean, the only thing that the natural gas fireplace does when we have it on in the winter, it sucks a lot of the moisture out of the air. It makes it really, really dry. It's dry here to begin with in the winter, but putting the fireplace on makes it even drier. So that kind of sucks for static and all that. But I mean, that's a topic for a different day in terms of how to control static on your records. But having the fireplace 20 feet away or whatever, aside from the static issue, hasn't had any impact on my records. So, I wouldn't put my collection, my box of records up against the fire. That would suck. But otherwise, I don't see any issues. All right, 33ers, I wanted to try this, answering some of your gear questions. I'm no techie, I'm no tech head. I spoke from the gut here, but I hope it made sense. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you want to chime in, I'd love to hear some of your responses to these questions as well. Thank you for watching, dear 33ers. Until next time, keep on spinning.